Hello and welcome, all you lovely freaks, beings, organisms, whatever of all the different things and stuff, some things. Welcome. Hopefully, you're having a wonderful whatever part of the existence of time that you're living in. Um, let's go ahead and begin bringing in all of our guests. The first track that we played was one of mine, The Synchronous Rendezvous. I produced that. So let's start bringing in our guests. Is Queen ready? Okay, baby cheeks. Before we get to that, we might as well just do this. Here's our disclaimer. This is all for fun and games, and we do not make any money off of this shit. So do not try to copyright claim us because we don't make anything. We're just here to have fun. So here is our first lovely.
She truly is a queen today.
Our lovely queen. Hi, queen.
Hello, my love. How are you?
And good. And there's our big head.
Yep, there's the big head. And Prince is on the phone with me. He's walking to go play some Yu-Gi-Oh with his friends. So
okay. Well,
you won't be able to hear him. Don't worry.
It's okay. And I haven't played Yu-Gi-Oh in a gazillion and a half years. That's an old.
I never played Yu-Gi-Oh. I never played Pokemon. I was a Magic the whole way. Like I was D&D and Magic.
But the D&D you played was a different kind of D&D that.
I played both.
Okay. Okay, bringing in our next guest, and we still have a couple guests that will be coming in soon once they get done finishing their level in Borderlands 2. So bringing in our next guest is
Clever girl.
Is our clever girl, the Micro, or Clara. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm doing well.
Hi, dear.
Awesome. Glad to hear.
Stop it. Really?
Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in our next guest,
Hi,
which
Jane.
is
Yep.
is one of our brainless varieties, and it is.
But some people without brains do an awful lot of talking, don't they?
Yes, I guess you're right.
And there is our
right.
brainless. Yes.
So
yes.
the queen was into Dungeons and Dildos?
Yes, I was into Dungeons and Dildos and Dungeons and Dragons. So.
Yeah, okay.
I was going to say
fun.
I wanted to say drag queens and dildos, but hey, whatever.
That too, yeah, I used to do that, so that too.
That's what we call a night out on a Thursday.
No, Michael doesn't want to play with the Kong right now.
Yeah.
We're on stream. You got to wait.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, now he's mad.
Oh, I play with you later. I can play with you after,
Yes.
please.
Yes. See? Micro said she'll play with you later. Now stop. Ow.
Yes, puppy dog.
He is trying to kill me, I swear.
He's going to try and cuddle you to death.
No, he's like running me over playing with the Kong.
And that's what happens when you have a big head.
Yes.
He does that.
That's what happens when you have a horse as a friggin' service dog.
Exactly. So let's say hello to the side chat right quick while we're waiting for the others. We have the Harry. Welcome.
Harry.
The Sydney.
Hi, sis.
Mark.
Hello, Mark.
The Demon.
Demon.
And we have Gavin, who is a good kitty that is not racist.
He's a boy.
He's a boy and he's not racist.
And he poos in bathtubs.
And he poos in bathtubs. That's what Rev said one day. He's just like, "Oh, Gavin's our kitty," and because was it G-Man that was over and like it rubbed against his leg? He's like, "Oh, look, Gavin's not a racist." It was like,
Yep,
"Wait,
yep.
What?
Well,
What?"
he's also with Watermelon, who's all black, so he.
Oh,
Can't
and then what?
But
Oh, that's
How-
right.
how
And of
can
course
a
they
cat
named their
be
black
racist?
cat Watermelon.
Right. All right, we still got a few more, baby.
Yeah, I know. So we have the Lucifer.
Hello, Dark Lord.
Hail Satan.
Yes.
We have the Schismacrasher.
Get your butt in here.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're home, you get in with us. And Gavin, if you want to join us, please let us know as well. Yeah. Hashtag fuck watermelon. Yes.
Kevin, that's not nice. You know you love her.
Wait. No. He just Gavin just wants to have sexual intercourse with Watermelon.
Yeah. He just wants to
okay.
get in the bathtub with watermelon.
Yes, he's going in the bathtub with Watermelon.
Wow, cheeky, wow.
Exactly. Giggity. So if there's anybody in the Saitama chats who wants to join us, just message somebody who's here and we will get you a link and you can join us. Oh, and there's the Super Mama Ghosts.
Oh, since Super Ghost is here, we should have our other guest soon.
Yeah.
Well, see, the thing about LGBTQ peeps, they do have arms and shoulders and elbows and hands, but that's what you're used for fisting. But that's a whole different kink thing that we'll talk about later.
And I do have everything written down, so when we get the final tally on the votes.
I didn't. I didn't. Yes, I didn't want to go gung ho at first with this subject, but if that's what you all want to talk about first, we can totally go over it. It's a very, very concerning thing that's happening in the Americas right now, and it may be happening in other places around the world.
Right.
But there may be a very, very insane battlegrounds happening because of these things that we're going to be talking about.
Mark,
including
I made the mistake of putting peanut butter in one of his Kongs, and he literally ate the Kong. No, I'm not joking. Look, I will show you all.
Holy shit. Because I know those things.
This is what's left of it.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're speaking about.
Oh,
This is what's left of it.
Oh, shit.
Because I made the mistake of putting peanut butter in this damn thing.
So, folks, ladies and gentlemen, do not put peanut butter in your genitalia. Otherwise, your animal may chew that area up. So,
Ow!
He's not a dog. He's some other thing. I don't know what he's.
He's not a dog. He's a damn bear.
What did I say? He was a bear. What did I say? He's a bear something. I don't remember
Bear
what.
pig man. Bear man pig.
Yeah, it's bear man pig. No, I said he was like a. I forgot. There was two words that I put together that he definitely is.
I think you said like bear wolf or something like that.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it was bear wolf, I think is what it was. Because his head's like a bear, but he is like built like a wolf. Because I've actually been around
like a gray wolf. I love it.
And I've actually been around a handful of people who owned wolves and other exotic animals. One of my exes, her best friend raised like every type of weird animal that you could legally have kind of in the Americas. So he had like ringtail lemurs. He had an actual like wolf. He had something that is kind of like what you have, baby. But it was a kind of different breed, but it was still like a huge
it was
bear
probably
dog.
a Crested Canario.
Yeah,
Maybe
I grew up with
maybe.
a massive dog. I love big dogs.
If I didn't have Kane, my best friend from childhood, like we were friends since we were like 2. So my best friend from childhood was actually going to ship me a timber wolf from Florida because he raises timber wolves.
Jeez. He also had red-tailed foxes and a couple, or one type of fox, and that thing was so fucking trippy.
Yes,
It would
white girl, he
play,
killed Kong. He is Godzilla.
yeah. He would play He would play really, really weird. It was really, really smart. This whitetail fox or something like that they had was smart as fuck, and it would like tease the other animals and know how to get away from them while fucking with them. It was so interesting how smart this thing was. So, bringing in our next guest, and once again, if anybody in the side chat wants to come in and join us, all you have to do is message somebody in the Distant Accords, and we'll send you a link. Because we don't mind having a couple more people here to join in. And I wanted to play the Idiocracy, or talk about the Idiocracy, and I had a thing on it, but we'll play that later. So bringing in our next guest, I have their intro, which is
Please come out of there.
Are you talking to me?
Yes. Is that a dildo in your pocket?
No, I'm just happy to see you.
Hey, I've heard that.
okay. So there we go. And that brings in our Vila. How are you doing?
I'm good. Bit hectic. Got doctors in London tomorrow, so that's always fun. Yay!
Okay, yeah.
So
It's always fun letting somebody probe you.
oh yeah. Either gonna be the old woman or the young hot doctor. There's no in between.
I know what Vila's hoping for.
Wait, so there's no getting in between them together with them, or you're never mind. Okay, I get it. It now. Never mind.
I mean, the young doctor's got to get his salary somewhere.
Yeah. I'd love to be in the middle of a doctor sandwich, but that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that later.
If it's the doctor, it can depend on which regeneration.
Well, as long as they have big enough hands, I don't care. Anyways, let's bring in our next guest, and they are our Skids Crasher.
Still fair. How's it going, guys?
Good. Glad you're here.
Appreciate it. It's good to be home and for one of your streams finally.
Yes, definitely. We're glad you're back and that you have time for us. Although we do understand IRL and giving time into real space and all that fun stuff. Yes, definitely. So we're glad you can spend a little bit of time with us. Hopefully get a couple more guests in here to join us. And if I am looking at the thingy-mabobber properly, it looks like we're at LGBTQ at arms is at 58%. But what I would, that's probably going to win. I'm going to give everybody about 20 more seconds to vote. And while we're waiting for that, I think I have something to show us right quick while we're waiting. It was going to be, of course.
Quick question. Are you still stabbing yourself in the face for $20?
Yes, I am.
Okay, just making sure.
Because I don't have any alcohol. I don't have any alcohols right this second.
I do.
More
so if somebody sends me $5, I will do a shot on camera.
Okay, so what we're gonna? Oh, shite! Hold on. What we're gonna do is we're gonna look at
incoming face stabbing.
Awesome, sweet. So we'll do that in just a second. I want to begin showing this, and what we're gonna show is just a couple of these, which is it says top 10 cursed messages left on tombstones.
All right, well, end the poll first, baby, so I can get these numbers.
No.
I gotta pee, damn it.
No. Go pee. We're gonna do this for a couple minutes. I wanna let the poll. If you haven't voted, we want a little more people to come in here and join us and then vote. So while we're waiting, here are 10 cursed messages left on tombstones.
You hear?
Hmm.
You hear, hon?
Then we'll work our way to more modern. You know how it is. When officials found the tomb of Enkmahor, a pharaoh official that lived 4,000 years ago, they also found a warning, a message, a curse, rather. It was written right there on the wall. That's how you know that you're buried in a mastaba, an above-ground massive tomb. Warning. It reads, might do against this, my tomb, the same shall be done to your property. Yeah, you mess with my stuff, I'll haunt you and your family. How does that sound? Deal? Deal. It also warns of Enkmahor's knowledge of secret spells and magic, and it threatens to fill impure intruders with a fear of seeing ghosts. Yeah, this pharaoh official wasn't
nice.
Sure. Number 9, remember death. Yes, can't forget. Turning the calendars a bit forward now to 1794 AD. A man named James Gleason was 38 at the time of his passing. Now his grave is in New York, and it's one of the most visited graves ever. The message left over on his tombstone is quite simple. It's just a few symbols, some Harry Potter stuff going on. That's all it takes on an otherwise standard headstone. There's an apple glass with wings, a flaming urn, and a stonecutter's tool, suggesting that this person may have been a mason. There's one line at the top that was decoded a century later. In 1889, somebody finally figured out another message, and this message said, remember death. So now that we know this, those symbols become a bit more eerie. An hourglass with wings that symbolizes time passing quickly, and the flaming urn represents a soul's immortality. Nice. How lovely. Again, on my headstone, it'll say like and or subscribe. Number 8, Alan Shannon. In 1870, we obviously didn't have the same safety requirements as we do today. Wemyss wasn't born yet. We didn't have anything, right? No safety hats, nothing like that. For example, if you wanted to read a little novel before bed, you didn't have a kind Kindle with you. You didn't even have a nightlight for that matter, but you did have a kerosene lamp. How lucky are you? That's horrible. That's pretty much all you had back then. Ellen had used R.E. Danforth's non-explosive burning fluid, and well, dare I say, the obvious happened. You know the title of this list. Pretty grim. Her tombstone in Pennsylvania doesn't shy away from the cause of her untimely death. See, in a time before Twitter, this was the best way to spread awareness on otherwise a horrible product. Ellen Shannon's tombstone reads, in memory of Ellen Shannon, aged 26 years old, who was fatally burned on the 21st of March 1870 by the explosion of a lamp filled with R.E. Danforth's non-explosive burning fluid. Yeah, that's a tragedy, of course.
And so
that's
she
a horrible
put,
way to go out, but I
they put it on there.
Put R.E. Danforth
Nice.
as the cause of her death. Put them on blast, for lack of a better term.
Number 7. Put them on blast.
Okay, well,
God.
what I want to do, what I want to do is we want to move to like these ones. Here we go.
Deep Dark. Number 3, KV-55. This tomb was found in the Valley of the Kings by Edward Ayrton back in 1907. It was discovered.
I got
right
my
next
knife
to King
ready,
Tut's
so
tomb. It was a
after
big deal.
this,
But the
we'll
reason
do
we call
this.
this tomb by a number rather than, King Tut's tomb or another name is because we have no idea who it was made for. It's just odd for an ancient tomb like this. But as you walk down the 20 steps towards a few markings on the entrance. Markings that show that the entrance was once widened since its first cut, along with its ceiling being raised higher. So again, somebody important was in here. It's just a matter of why they were important, right? What did they do? What happened? A little bit of history. The only hint as to who is buried remains on the walls, and it's in one hieroglyph. And that hieroglyph translates to, the evil one shall not live again. Okay, well, I
The
sure
evil
hope not.
one
Whatever
shall
happened
not
in there,
live
I've seen the
again.
mummy, I'm all
That's my next album.
Number 2, bone compass warning. Okay,
Good
just
album
because we've been
title.
talking about graves doesn't mean these messages have to be written or carved or drawn per se. Sometimes these messages can be as simple as leaving animal bones on the ground. Yeah, that ought to speak for itself. You see
Yeah,
it
that
out in the
makes
woods,
sense.
you're on your way. See you later. In St. Augustine, for example, the remains of a donkey were found buried underground, and judging from the skull, it had been clearly hunted down by humans, right? It was very not normal. Now, that's not the mysterious part. The mysterious part here is that all the bones have been carefully separated. There's no marks to suggest that any tools were used at all, so researchers believe that this animal wasn't meant for food. Maybe sacrifice? I don't know, it's odd. Either way, it's pretty dark. The limbs were placed to point north and south directly.
Well, duh, if that was like in front of a king, queen, or somebody sacred, and or it was done for sacrifice to make the cave gods not mad or something. I mean, and or it could have died of natural causes, and they were like, fuck this, we're going to leave this cave after they had been there for a while. I mean, there's so many reasons why this could happen.
Yeah.
They used
I
this
mean,
donkey
that
as a
makes
compass.
sense. Like with the way it's positioned, where it was, and everything. And if there was no obvious like illness or stuff, because you don't normally sacrifice ill animals, because the whole point of the sacrifice isn't here's the thing, right? It's this cow was something to us. This cow was milk. It could have given us this. It's a sacrifice, as in you are losing something. So it's not the animal itself. It's the thing that the animal could have given you that you're actually sacrificing.
Yeah, of course.
So like, it's a lot more nuanced than people think. It's like sacrificing, giving up something for Lent. Just more physical.
Yeah, of course. You want the best of the best to give to the offering as for
Like you
whatever
wouldn't
for
give
the
a
deity
sick
to.
animal.
No,
You
of
would
course,
give your
of course.
best
You want the
calf,
best
you would
of the
give your
best. Yeah, of
best
course.
thing, because
Yeah,
that shows that you have given up a lot. You've given up
yeah.
X many new generations of cows, because that was a bull and it could have bred a lot of like not litters,
just
whatever generations, you know.
So just think of how many times people starved because they gave up an offering to a god. Like so many times.
Very fucked up. We are going, instead of eating food, we are going to kill the animal that could give us more food, to hope that the gods will give us more food.
Yeah. It's just like like the Phuket festivals. Somewhat, you know, these people pierce their bodies with these huge objects up and down their bodies with fruit on the end of them, and then they give the fruit up to the deity at the altar of wherever they're going to at the end, and they give all the fruit to them, and that fruit rots. And it's like, well, you could have just used that fruit to grow more fruit, or you could have used that fruit to like never mind. It's a weird vicious cycle that used to go through. But I guess when you're talking about like ancient human beings and everybody's 18 years old, your understanding of stuff is very, very nil. Even nowadays, if you're an 18-year-old, you don't know what's really going on in the world. So, you'll assume weird things. So anyways, let's keep blowing on with this because I want to get to the subjects.
How rude is that? Donkeys in that area in Florida in the 17th century, that's not bizarre. But the way that these bones were buried, that definitely is. What's the message here, right?
Yes.
What's the point if there is one? If you reach the pile of bones, you've gone too far? What is this? Someone help me out. And finally, number 1, Paris catacombs. We have to end with this massive tomb. It was built in the late 18th century, and the Paris catacombs are massive. The place is literally filled with bones. So of course, it needs to have a warning before you enter, right? That's probably fair. That would suck to accidentally stumble upon. You're about to
I'm still going to say it. Yeah, the warning is you may get a boner in here. Never mind.
Walk into a room full of heads. Yeah, heads up. Since opening day, there's been a message carved above.
Do not leave with a boner. Never mind.
The entrance to the Paris catacombs. And that message translates to stop in the name of love. No, I'm just kidding. It doesn't. It translates to stop. This is the empire of the dead. And at that point, I would go, okay. Those are the
There we go. So anyways, you know how many people a year get caught trying to steal bones from that place? It's a lot of people because people try stealing like little pieces or whatever from there. And I don't think
that is so disrespectful.
it is very, of course. I don't think most people get charged with something. It's crazy how many people a year. So
they're very lucky in that case that they don't get charged for anything.
Well, unfortunately, it happens so often, supposedly, that they're like, we just can't charge everybody.
I mean, they
which
could
is sad.
fine them, which would be good.
They may, but I think the problem is everybody's a tourist. So if you're from another country and you get fined, you can just like leave in a couple of days and then you never have to pay. You just never come back, right?
It depends. If you leave by plane, they can just say like, yeah, no, you can't leave until you pay.
Sure. There must be different, but that's why I thought that I had read that they don't try to charge people, but I could be wrong.
I mean, if they charge people, maybe they would stop doing it because there would actually be a consequence.
Well, what they should do is never mind. I was gonna say stick that bone up their arse, but never mind. You took a thigh bone here. Yeah, no, totally it is. And those structures are built in a certain way that if you like took the wrong bone from a certain place, then you can like cause a collapse and like it would be very devastating. I believe that they like go in there like every 4 years or something. They like restack the bones or something weird like that. I don't remember 100% what I read about them having to like make sure the bones are back in order all the time because I don't believe they're glued. I believe most of them are loose piles. They're just put in a certain way so they don't fall over or whatever. anyways, let's get on. So, Baby Cheeks, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here, baby. I'm just muted because I'm on the phone with Prince. But
Yeah,
go ahead, give me the numbers, babe.
Okay, so
Hi, Prince.
Vila said hi, Prince.
We all say hi.
We all say hi.
Everybody
We
says hi,
all say
Prince.
hi. Hi, Prince.
obviously. So, anyways,
He said hi, everyone. Sorry he's not here.
it's okay. We understand.
All right, go ahead, babe.
So the LGBTQ at arms is number 1.
Okay.
I just wanted to point out, like, personally, I prefer saying
what?
queer instead of doing the alphabet. So, like, it's fine to say queer instead of trying to remember the letters.
Okay.
Sure. The only reason I'm saying that is because one of the articles we're going over says it this way, and so I was just trying to be true to the article. But yes,
Okay, I need 2, 3, and 4 now, baby.
What? LGBTQIA+.
Just so you know.
So
what's 2, 3, and 4?
So we have 19 for 2 of them, but what I would like to do is go over incels next, and then
so number 2 is incels. Okay.
Yep, conspiracy help.
3, and
then
evangelicalism.
Okay. And the evangelicalism is going to be very interesting because it comes from a Christian news article, so we're going to have to dissect that a certain way because
that's going to be biased as hell.
Yeah, but they do talk about the end of the world and the 3 different versions of the end of the world through evangelicalism. So that's why I picked it and I wanted to do it. But anyways, so this is a very, very major subject. I was very, very iffy about trying to go over this because I felt like it may be divisive. And one of the things that we are trying to not do on this channel and on other channels and other things is promote violence.
No. Violence is bad.
So
except
I mean if like
unnecessary and unjustifiable violence is bad. Sometimes you need to defend yourself. However, that should not be your first point of call. And you should never be violent to someone just because you don't like them. Don't like them, fuck off and don't go near them. Do something else. Simple.
Well, there is a problem if there's people you don't like and you are in the same class. Then it's sometimes hard to stay away from them.
No brainless.
Okay, hold on.
No brainless. It's still wrong.
Let's get into a little bit more of that just in a millisecond. We need to do this first because it was paid for, right?
Indeed.
Yes. Okay. So here we go, everybody. If you want to see this again, I will do it multiple times. Oh, I need to do it this way, probably.
There you go. Oh.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead and press it. Go ahead and press it.
There you go. Sorry, I figured it'd be easier.
It's fine. It's fine.
This is freakier than
It
swallowing.
seems I do for content.
Yes.
That's right, baby. Penetrate yourself live on air.
Yes. Trigger warning: if you do not like seeing people be penetrated, look away. If anybody else wants to send another $20, I will do this again and again, over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times. I will do it.
You to penetrate yourself with something else.
That's the OnlyFans, and that's for later. And Queen and I will start that as soon as I move to her. We will start an OnlyFans, and we will do a thing where if you want to see us stick certain things in certain places, you just pay us enough money, and we'll put things in certain places.
And so you know, if he does get here before Christmas, maybe we'll even do a cute little Christmas OnlyFans.
Yes.
Get there.
And when we begin doing that, I am looking into starting a Patreon as well. So we'll have behind the scenes stuff before and after streams and things like that. So if you're wanting to see us do fun things behind the scenes, then you may get that opportunity. So anyways, here is me knifing myself in public. So here we go.
Ooh.
Hell.
Thank you. So there we
please
go.
don't donate another $20.
No. I already did it once.
No, but like I said, I do have alcohol here, so if people send me $5 on my Cash App, then I will have a shot.
And go ahead and put that link in the side chat, my baby cheeks. Welcome, Six Drops. I hope you enjoyed seeing that as you just tuned in. So let me look at my list and see which way we're gonna go with this.
That's Queen's Cash.
Okay, so what we're gonna start with is this, and then we'll go ahead and go to Antifa taking up arms to stand outside of drag shows. Oh, that's the one that I sorry, that's the first one we're going over. So never mind. That is the article. So give me a second to share that. So this is the reason why this is going to become something that is going to become very scary in the near future, because we're going to have members of both sides carrying large guns, and there's going to be a time where people decide to actually start firing on each other. So that's the reason why I felt like we needed to speak about this. So in Texas, which is even scary that it's happening in Texas, members of the LGBTQ community arm themselves to fight right-wing extremists. Where does it say to read the whole article?
Oh.
What? Got Phil actually.
Cheese and rice. I thought I grabbed
you got one of those links again.
Well, I thought I grabbed the right one that wasn't just this, but give me a second. So what I'm going to do is I'll find it on the YouTubes.
You gotta be careful what you grab.
And I know. Okay, there's the Hill. The Independent is no, that one is from a while ago. I need to find the one that is just recent.
Who's coloring?
No. Okay, so
I'm doing
that's
Christmas
okay.
decorations.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm using some nail varnish remover to remove acrylic paint off a bauble. So I have to be careful and quick before the acetone in it melts the plastic.
Yeah.
1, 1, 3, 5, 6. Of course, they're not showing anything that just happened last week because it was, or 2 weeks ago. Anyways, so here was the other thing I wanted to show anyways about this that is just as scary as that, which is So this is the same. This is pretty much the same thing that we were just going to be talking about. It's just on a little bit larger of a scale. Antifa around the country have been arming themselves and posting themselves at like drag shows and other places. So there is now a war of armed hardcore leftists that are about ready to fight with the hardcore right.
Well, I think it is also like showing like, yeah, we've got them to, because
So once again, I'm for guns as long as people like actually go through the right training and they're trained constantly. And like one of the best things that I heard was from a Marine, and he goes, every month we have to make sure that like we can shoot to a certain thing. When we get done with our guns, they get put in racks, they get put away, they don't come with us. We have to check them out. We have to check them in. We have to like clean them. You have to know how to do every thingies with them. If Marines have to do that, why should not every citizen have to fucking do that? Right?
For real. Like how often do I have to go to the range and qualify just to prove to the military that I can shoot the weapon that they're giving me, where Joe Schmo general public can go out and buy an AR-15, not know a damn thing about it, and
not know how to clean it. Like if you do not know how to take apart your machine and put it back together, or let's say this the proper way, take it apart and actually clean it properly and then put it back together, you should not have that machine. Like when you go into a job, you can't be a machinist if you don't know how that machine works, right? So why should you with Geens? I mean, like it's just ridiculous. So now there are so many people with guns or that are being so violent with these on the right that now the left is beginning to do this, which when I saw Antifa and all this stuff happening during the BLM protests, I was like, well, what'd you think was going to happen, you dumbasses? You push people too far, they're going to fucking push back. And I don't want to see war, and I don't want to be in the middle of it, or like, I don't want to have to take up arms, but it's getting scary. And that's why I felt like we did have to talk about this today. So here we blow. We're going to get into this like pretty fast. We're going to go over just a little bit of it until we get the idea of it. We're going to listen to some of these people's ideals. If you want to look up this later, all it is, let me go ahead and just go here and show everybody right quick. It is Antifa's call to arms, foreign correspondent. I think it's PBS or something like that did this. Just look it up and watch the rest of it yourself. But here we blow. Let's get into this.
Remember this.
Nice. I mean, what? Well, that was punch a Nazi. That was like literally, that was punch a Nazi in the face day. I mean, like, I was literally a Nazi and he got his face punched in. So,
but that.
Again, we're not calling for violence.
We're not telling you to punch a Nazi in the face. We're just watching it happen and laughing because
it is funny to watch. Yeah. So once again, we're not calling for violence, and I am going to laugh and I'm going to talk a bunch of shit about people. But YouTube, we are not for any of this. We're against it, and that's why we're showing it.
I also would never call for anyone to punch anyone, but I'm also not going to shed any tears for a punched Nazi.
There we go. That's exactly what I'm saying. And honestly, like if somebody is in front of me and they're putting somebody down or they're trying to hurt somebody in front of me, then unfortunately my knuckles are going to get bruised. I have helped run a security company for a long time doing events, And when somebody hurts somebody else or somebody does something that they're not supposed to in our events, you're probably going to get, it's not going to be a good day for any of you. So don't start shitting our events, because just like what happened with Homie in Colorado Springs, unfortunately, he got done more than what he should have. But what happened to him afterward is what's going to happen to most people from now on. And that's kind of what we're talking about here, is people are going to start standing up and reacting and not just running away or not.
Even the most pliable of material can only be bent so far before it snaps.
Yep.
Exactly. And so that's what we're getting at. That's what we're kind of showing here, is like, I don't want there to be this craziness, but this is what's going to be happening soon, unfortunately.
The right wing makes it necessary.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why,
Like
again,
if you're gonna threaten somebody, a group with guns, over and over again, then that group will get guns and protect themselves.
yeah, the Second Amendment does not, and again, this is for just the Americas, but Second Amendment isn't just guns for me and not for you. No, it's guns for everybody, dumbass. And you got to remember that
only
somebody
guns for cis, straight, white men,
that's what
and
they want.
maybe
Yeah,
women if they're hot enough, because
yeah.
And
hot women with
submissive
guns,
enough.
but ugly women with guns is scary, because they might be the psycho girls that shoot you.
Yeah, but that's the thing that they always forget
also
about, because
they also need to be submissive enough.
Yeah.
They have to look good in a bikini while holding an AR.
But not know how to shoot it. But
not know how
anyways,
those kinds of bitches do look good.
no, I would rather a hot woman know how to actually shoot it properly in a bikini. But anyways, so what we're getting at right now is what we're trying to prove is that, like, if you push one side so far, you push people so far, we are going to have violence. And I don't think I'm going to prevent violence, but I'm hoping that somehow this affects somebody some way that causes them to do something. I don't know. But I just couldn't be quiet about this anymore. And there's, yep,
wasn't even that great of a punch either.
Left-wing activists
that dude. Yep. Okay.
venting their rage at Donald Trump's inauguration.
Stand up.
The beginning of a presidency that's brought extremists from both sides out into the open.
White lives matter. White lives matter. White lives matter. White lives matter.
What's wrong with having a multicultural America?
We have a right to this land. We paid for it in our own blood and our own sacrifice, and no one has a right to take it away from us.
What the fuck is he talking about?
And he's like, his parents are Cuban or something, and he's first generation American or something like that.
He didn't do shit.
Yeah, and he's saying
His
he's white and
family
technically.
didn't pay for America in any blood. Like, what is he on about?
I don't know, but he's been arrested like 5 times now for getting in fights during these rallies. But once again, his parents are. He's first generation.
Okay, I'm back.
I bet they're so proud of him.
I'm brainless.
Oh no, they probably hate the fuck out of him. Like, dude, they're probably like, "What are you talking about?" I mean, it's so silly. Although, like, one of the misconceptions about foreigners in this country is they're always lib, and actually, a lot of them are very, very right wing, and so a lot of them do come here and are fascist in some way, shape, or form. So
By the
like,
way-
it's really, really weird. Yeah,
By the
it's
way-
weird.
By the way, by European standards, Democrats are right wing.
Yeah, no. We're talking about
Oh.
South American, and we're talking
Yeah.
about African, and we're talking about other
We're
places.
just outside. Stop.
But they're very, very like with American Republican esque ideals. I don't. Yeah. So it's funny. Like they think that everybody comes here is a lib or believes in humanitarian stuff, but it actually isn't as much as people think.
For real. Like as you were mentioning, like if this guy is really, part Cuban, like a large portion of the Cuban immigrants and things like that, and if you look at Florida, are largely Republican.
Yeah. Because the Republican in their country is a little bit different than ours, and it takes them a while to figure out exactly what capitalism, republicanism is over here, and how they're actually being screwed if you're not a gazillionaire. I mean, the only way this works is if you are making a crap ton of money. The only problem is America makes you think that you're going to be a billionaire by the time you're 18.
And really, it doesn't matter if you graduate high school, go to college, get degrees and everything like that.
You're never going to be
your family, basically.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's your heritage and the capital. What your family has as capital, and who your family knows, and what little organizations you all like are connected with, and all kinds of fun, interesting, silly things.
My grandfather, he owned his own business and he was wealthy, but we were still considered lower class. And that's with him owning his own business.
Yeah, if you're not into the yacht club or you're not into this polo club.
He was an auto shop. He owned his own auto shop.
Yeah.
And he didn't just do like brakes and stuff like that. He did actual body work. And we still were considered lower class.
Yeah, and also it matters the organizations you're involved with or whatever in the community, and there's like other crazy weird layers that judge some of that stuff as well in the Americas. So anyways, let's get on a little bit further on this. I'm going to press play. I'm going to turn off my camera because I'm nude and I don't want to flash everybody. And I'm going to go grab another beer and I'll be right back. Well, I just, we'll do that later in the Discord. Yeah.
Okay.
No fascist USA! Now the radical left is more organized.
Black lives, they matter here.
They're called Antifa, self-proclaimed anti-racist, anti-fascists, whose tactics shock even some on their own side.
Go over there and get ready to get hit.
I would argue we're in a new civil war.
Tonight, inside one far-left group taking up arms, they say to protect America from neo-Nazis.
That's the thing.
I'm not going to let
keep
people
saying
fly
Antifa.
swastikas freely on the streets of the United
That's
States.
not one single group.
All right, son, put it down.
No, it's multiple groups working under the same name.
No, Antifa's more like an ideal.
That's exactly how I always understood Antifa is more of a flag that you fly than an organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, but these days they are organized.
Anti-fascism.
Yeah, that's all.
Isn't it
But
just
like the
anti-fascism?
American news organizations have absolutely scared people by keep saying Antifa, all be scared, Antifa. And it's like,
Tennessee, the birthplace of the
No, but you're right,
Ku Klux
Micro. It's just
Klan. A
anti-fascist.
century and a half later,
Yeah.
racism isn't bothering to hide its face like the Klan once did.
We're heading to
But in all
Shelbyville
honesty,
in
with what
Tennessee,
they
where a
even
group
with
of
what
white
they just said,
nationalists are holding a
Antifa
rally
really is just
White Lives
an
Matter.
organization
We know
that's all over the
counter-protesters are
world,
going
just
to be
like
there
the
too.
KKK
And
was
if past
or
events are anything
is.
to go by, it could get ugly.
that's what we're just saying, though. It's not. The KKK was an organized group with a leader. Is a organized group with a leader. It's a singular group. They're a little There are like clubs of it, like there are churches with the Christian faith.
I'm going to go ahead and get your basket. You ladies need anything?
Antifa itself
Ahead of tomorrow's rally, the city centre
is
is
just an
virtually-
ideal, like anarchy. Like, there's not necessarily a singular group where you like sign up to and it's like, this is Antifa. The American news have tried to make it very seeming that way as scare tactics, like Antifa is this big organized group and be scared. It's not.
It's a gazillion little itty bitty organizations put together to make up something or whatever. And
it's an ideal, like anarchy.
Yeah, there's like there's one in every town in the Americas, and then like there's it's not one huge big thing. So anyways,
deserted. Locals are on edge.
No one's happy about it. This doesn't represent Shelbyville, doesn't represent who we are. People are
Shelbyville, isn't that from
afraid.
The Simpsons?
Almost everybody on the square closing their doors. I guess that's our way of saying we don't want it here.
Almost 200 years old, this small city in Middle Tennessee on the bank of the Duck River is best known for breeding horses and was once a pencil manufacturing hub. It rankles that the white nationalists are from out of town and have targeted Shelbyville for its growing population of Somali and Latin American migrants doing low-skilled jobs.
So I don't want Shelbyville to be known as a place where the white supremacy rally was held and violence broke out and people were killed or run over or beaten up or anything like that, because that's not Shelbyville. That's not who we are.
Good.
Yeah.
That, on the other hand.
The next day, this city
Riot
of
sticks.
21,000 looks like it's preparing for an invasion.
Jesus Christ.
And this is the one that happened like a year ago or something, right? This wasn't recent, correct? Does anybody remember?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But honestly, like, I truly think that that's what they do that on purpose. They go to small towns and start all this trouble for that small town and try to get it to the point where the people in that town have no choice but to cooperate with them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But that's what the scary part is there's people that are on the other side that are now arming up and wearing masks and standing up against them, which is great, but there's going to be a point where the water
it's
boils
being done
over.
in a terrible way.
Yeah, no, that's why it's very scary, and that's why we're going over this. So we're gonna watch just a little bit more of this, and then I'm gonna go ahead and show you the thing about the Texas Antifa clashing with the Proud Boys. Yeah, we'll go from there. So they're wanding people down to go into this.
Clear fire signs, but which side are you at here supporting?
I'm on the counter protest.
Police are as worried about the far right as they are the far left. Those who call themselves Antifa, anti-fascists.
Which they don't really need to be because it's not the left that shoots up everybody.
A few months ago, she joined the local branch of a national far-left group called Redneck Revolt. They claim to be anti-fascist, anti-racist, and anti-capitalist, and are sometimes armed.
Redneck Revolt?
Yeah, it's a thing in the South that they're doing, and they're the anti-fascist because they don't want to be called Antifa because of that negative thing, and they want to piss off the rednecks, so that's why they're the Redneck Revolt, because they're anti-rednecks.
Fair.
Which I like. I kind of like that name.
All right, folks, they're coming in. Put up a in solidarity.
So here
This is
comes
not normal.
the white
This isn't
trash.
Acceptable. Now we see this narrative that is completely condoned and even.
How much you want to bet we'll see a
promoted
Nazi flag
by
at some
the
point?
President, by cabinet members, allowing.
No, they will not show that because they will not. Because
Well,
everybody sees that. Well, most people see that as a bad thing. So if you show that, then you will
well,
get
I
people
don't,
against you.
I don't know about that.
Brainless.
I don't know about that. But what we are going to see is we're going to see a Confederate flag very, very soon.
Oh yeah, probably.
They flew them at the Unite the Right rally a few years back. You know, there was Nazi flags.
No, we've seen them all throughout this. So we'll probably see one brainless.
Ideology to a group.
You are not Christian! Where are you from? Where are you at? They're pieces of shit.
I already saw a couple of like Nazi symbols over there on the other side.
No, that's
Yeah, the Nazi iconography.
I'm
yeah.
sure that some of them are mentally
Yeah.
ill. Personally, I think that some of them are consumed by evil. How do you explain people who allow themselves?
And what's really funny is, once again, you fucking white trash pieces of shit. What part of White Lives Matter do you think is happening over here?
What is that? Is that like a flag or a marker? Like the big black X?
I don't know what the X means. If somebody wants to maybe try to look up what that symbology exactly means, maybe for this, because like I know this is
Get
on
on
their
it,
hats.
Google.
It's on a lot of things.
Keep
But
your name, Google. Get on it.
But remember, folks, who's killing white people? Why are you so scared, you fucking punk ass bitches? Nobody's trying to kill you, you fucking punk ass little twats.
But
you're not even living in prison.
The police kill more white people than the black people, so that means that the white people are in the troubles, even though that the ratios are different, because like still it counts that more black people are killed than white people.
Yeah. Look at the statistics here in freaking Buffalo. Okay, that proves it wrong.
Well, so the real thing is they don't want to lose their privilege, and that's the thing they're scared of. Is, oh my God, I won't be able to tell a black guy what to do, and I can't hang him from a tree for no reason, you know, or like I'm gonna get arrested for calling somebody the N-word. What? I can't have that happen. So that's really what they're scared of, and that's the only reason why they're doing any of this is because they think they're losing power. And honey, if everybody has equal power, then like you still have power, dumbass. Like, what are you talking about? Like, nobody's stepping on your head with their boots, telling you to pull yourself up by your bootstraps. At that point, everybody's equal.
Yeah. By the way, the black X on the white background is the Southern Nationalist flag, which is the neo-Confederate extremists.
There we go. So
It's
that's
the new
all.
Nazi flag.
Exactly, and that's all you need to say is that's white nationalist fucking propaganda flag, because a bunch of
By the way, just a comment on the flag. I like how they made it easy for stupid people to paint. You just have a square and then two black lines. Very easy for idiot to do.
Yeah, it has to be very simplistic. It has to be simple.
Way to go, Micro. I love it.
Definitely, and it has to be simple. And that just springboards me off of saying what I was about ready to say, which is these people feel disenfranchised because a person who had better qualifications than them got their job. Oh, I'm sorry, somebody from Ecuador had better qualifications than you and spoke your language better than you do, and they got your job. Oh, sorry, you're a dumbass motherfucker. That's not anybody else's fault other than yours, you fucking cunt.
If you didn't get the job, then it was never your job because you were not qualified for it.
Yeah, and remember, you could have just paid attention in school, motherfucker, instead of listening to your parents and or your priest and believing in the conspiracy theories and wives' tales they threw at you.
Baby, what I was going to say is that person from Ecuador actually tried hard and got themselves an education as to where you failed out of kindergarten. So,
and a person from Ecuador got into America despite the odds, got managed to get over there, all the immigration, all that, managed to get a job that required qualifications, right?
Yeah.
Despite every single odd against them with systemic racism and hatred and everything.
And crossing a canal and like walking through a desert for
job over you, then you are the problem because you are never going to get it. If you, let's face it, cis white man couldn't get the job with all your privilege.
Yeah, it's exactly.
You were the problem for the job. You were not meant for the job because you did not have the qualifications. Like
it's
including
just
white, including women and every other person that has this hatred.
It's all of these, but it's just. Go ahead, Micro.
And also, I'm pretty sure that all of us here are white, and that we were born in the country we currently live in. So when are the brown, scary immigrants gonna come into this dream and steal our places? When is that gonna happen?
See,
we've been here lots of times.
See,
no one has ever stolen my right to be here.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been waiting with the bottle of lube on the front
I'm
coat
ready.
hanger thing in the front hallway. So when they did invade, they would bring in the lube, and then we'd have a good time. Like I've been waiting for years for this to happen, and I've never had anybody invade my house from another country and try to show me a good time. So I don't know what they're talking about.
Once you go back, you never go back.
Yeah, you know.
All the effort.
Yeah, I mean, I've been waiting. I'm just like, I got my ass in the air every night while I fall asleep. You know, I roofie myself. I mean, I'm just
neon signs with arrows.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just waiting, and it never happens. I don't know what they're talking about anymore. Anyways, like that's the major thing is these people are like, they took our jobs, and you're like, well, if you actually were smart and you like had a degree, or you actually finished school, or you had like 5 teeth in your mouth,
or you didn't fail finger painting because your finger was in your ass,
or you only have 3 fingers on each hand
that they don't actually bother to go for. Day laborer, fruit picker.
Yeah,
like
and then
cleaning the janky ass toilets of the fucking nightclub after your stanky ass is in there throwing up and doing all kinds of disgusting shit in there. But they took your job, bitch. I didn't see you going to get a fucking not only that a application from McDonald's. I didn't see you going to get an application from any of these places. But you're bitching that you haven't got a job and they have. But you are an arse and like, I want a job. Oh, but not that job. Oh, but not that job. But not that job.
What I don't understand is some of these backwoods hicks are smart enough to know how to produce meth, which takes a lot of chemistry knowledge.
Yeah, it's not that
but
easy.
You can't freaking get through high school.
Yeah.
Or
they just follow
qualify for a good job.
The problem is the incentive to make meth is really, really high because it gets you high. So you're like, hey, if I.
Well, we got it on a tangent.
Still, I just can't understand that.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page with you. Is they will read a book on how to build a bomb, but they will not read a book on how to like improve their life. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, well, I mean, usually when we look at statistics on people that try to make their own bombs, about 30% of the time they end up blowing themselves up. But that is not a large enough percentage. We need way more. It needs to be 80% of these idiots to blow themselves up.
Here's an idea. These racists, right? They don't want to learn another language or anything like that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Go and learn American Sign Language, right? Go and
learn it.
Sign language or something else. Do you know how many deaf people need translators?
You know what they really need to do first?
Hospitals, anywhere, like
a bunch, and especially in the court services. They need people to be working in them as well. But
Right, and
anyways,
not
And
just
then you're
that,
not even having to learn a foreign language. You're not betraying your racist little black heart.
yeah, but they won't even learn English properly. So how are you going to get them to learn sign language?
My whole thing is that it's not just deaf people that need translators. I learned American Sign Language, and I'm teaching it to my godson because he's nonverbal autistic.
And that's what we've been doing. That's what we found is a good way to teach your children at first. The first couple of
But
years.
normally, autistic children learn Makaton, not ASL or ESL, because it's a more simplified version.
Right, but I wanted to go a step above with my godson, and I'm actually teaching him American Sign Language. So even if, even when he does start speaking, which he is starting to, he will still have the sign language, and he'll be able to communicate with deaf people and possibly get a job as a translator. And
yeah. So before I start this, I usually teach them Native American Sign Language first. Never mind. Let's keep going.
Because you have that kind of rhetoric.
That's
evil. Across the barricades is white nationalist leader Matthew Heimbach, once described.
So this gentleman they're talking about is the one who just got arrested or has been arrested multiple times, and I believe he's Cuban.
Oh my God!
Hate in America. His group's just one of 16.
You see what the sign in the background says? Less bark, more bite. In other words, like less talking, more fighting.
Yeah, of course. They're all for violence, definitely.
It's a call to arms, yeah.
The only thing is, I'm very, very glad they're just a bunch of pussies and bitches and cucks and betas, but I'm glad they are, because otherwise we would have a civil war going on right now, unfortunately.
right, but the problem is they're a bunch of brainless.
I also like.
Hey.
They will.
No, these people. We're talking about these people, not the military.
I know.
But the problem is they are a bunch of brainless, no offense, brainless, but they are a bunch of complete moronic, idiots.
Now,
that have no morals, but they have guns. And that's a huge problem.
And they're narcissists and other things that make them more susceptible to becoming like serial killers and other kinds of like killers without thinking. So, before we get into the rest of this, go ahead, Micro.
I also kind of like how they're surprisingly diverse. There's so many of them who are like part Cuban or like Fuentes.
See, the main problem is they don't understand. They want to be white so bad, they forget their heritage. They want to say, I'm a white American, even though they're technically not. A lot of them are not white Americans, but they cosplay as them because they think when the war happens, when they think the war happens, they're going to be able to jump into it. Like Ben Shapiro, he's definitely Jewish. He wears his yarmulke on streams every single day.
So gonna spare you. How cute.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think the Christians, I'm going to say this, and I don't give a flying fuck. The Zeke Heil Christians, because that's what they are. They're the fascist Christians.
Oh, yeah.
You think they're going to spare you once they take over?
Yeah, they're not going to accept a Jew.
No, of course not.
I'm genuinely surprised they even bother listening to him or watching his show or quoting him and having anything to do with him, because these are normally the people that, like you said, Sim, are the like fucking Hitler Christians. They are the ones that are like, oh yeah, no, the Jews killed our Lord and Savior. Oh, the Jews are responsible for all our problems. And yet they're quoting one who is apparently from the same religion that they hate, but
no, of course,
one of the good ones.
Yeah, of course. And what's even weirder is, and we're gonna go a little bit further into this before we get into the news article, and then I want to get into the incels. We're an hour 13 in, so we definitely
queer people. It was supposed to be about queer people.
No, that's what we're getting into next. That's what I was getting at. I did find the
Oh, okay,
article
okay.
from the Texas thingy mabobber that just happened. I did find that. That's why I was saying I would like
That's
to
what
get
we need
into
to
that.
do too, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's kind of this is kind of a
I know you like to get
springboard.
into queer people.
Yeah, and this is
I know
kind of
you
a
like to get into
springboard.
queer people.
Yeah, I totally love to get into them for sure. But I felt like this was like a springboard or a connection between them, showing what violence can happen and why people are taking up arms between these people and stuff and things. So I just want to watch a little bit more, and then we'll get into Texas.
Active in the US at both ends of the political spectrum.
We care about your children and the future of our race.
No, you
I
don't.
first met him a couple of years ago when his
He
group
hides behind the shield.
I care about your children until they're born, and then as soon as they decide they want to be gay, then I want to kill them.
I don't want some strange man who I don't know caring
Talking
about my children.
kids.
I don't like
Yeah.
people that I don't
Leave
like
my-
people that I
Get
barely
away!
know.
Get away
not
from
don't
my
know.
children!
Leave my kids
I
alone.
said I don't like even like people who I barely know,
Ah.
not even don't know, caring about my child. So you don't know
Yeah, of
fucking
course.
nothing about them. What
Yeah.
do you? Why do you need to be
Yeah.
involved? Why do you even dare to have a thought about my kid?
Yeah.
Like you're not directly involved
Yeah.
with me. You don't know anything about it. Like
Okay, so
No.
what I want to do is I want to get into the actual Antifa people talking about why they have taken up arms, and we're gonna look at this really quick. I've sped it up a little bit, so their voices may sound weird. That is because I sped that up, so I don't want anybody saying, "Why do these people that look transgender or whatever?" Anyways, so we want to go through this right.
Or did I get no? Sorry, never mind. I did a weird one.
Look at.
Okay. So here we blow. We're gonna hear why these
Oh,
people have taken up. All...
Can I send the link to
Of course you can.
Irene
Whoever.
I'll just get it to your Twitter, Hunt. We've had him on the show a few times before.
Oh yeah, of course the skeptic can always come out.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah, definitely. So what I want to do is I want them to explain why they've taken up arms against the opposition right quick, and then we'll get into the Texas thing that we talked about.
On all people.
Unlike many Antifa activists, these Redneck Revolt members have agreed to let us show their faces, though it took lengthy persuasion to be granted this access. Anti-fascist groups have been criticised by both the right and the left for their willingness to use force.
And if they come in, somebody just add them and then let me know, and we will say hello.
They risk a backlash from the far right and police, but also from their own employers and families.
Holding onto the jaw and the sides of the head.
Today, it's medical training at member Dwayne Dixon.
So this is the medical, they're going to say it a little bit more, but I'll go. This is the medical training they go through as well. So it's not just, and I don't know if the right does this or doesn't, I don't know. But this is what they're doing as training for being in crowd situations, 4 different situations, which is the first thing they go into when they're in this meeting is talking about helping people. Then they talk about defense.
House. The goal, they say, is to be a broad community support group aimed at helping people be self-sufficient in all aspects of their lives. They run food banks and do first aid training, but their most striking feature is their commitment to armed self-defense.
But nobody really wants to get shot. Most folks don't want to be a martyr. So it's like, you're there, I'm here. Neither one of us gets shot. I have a gun, you have a gun. Everybody be cool. It's that scary point that our armed society is a polite society. So the reality is there's a Nazi over there with a gun. I want to make sure I've got a gun too.
And I want to make sure he knows that I have a gun.
That's so scary, but yeah, I guess.
Maybe most accurately said the far left, but maybe people who just
That's
value
super scary,
autonomy,
but
right? Communal and
unfortunately
individual autonomy.
necessary at this point.
And like, that's how it was when I grew up with the gang culture. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't want the world to be this way. I wish we were going to be more of a peaceful society and we didn't have to talk about this and I didn't have to do a thing on this. I wish I could be talking about unicorn farts right now or like fairy dust or something stupid right now, right? But unfortunately, we have to talk about this.
Yeah, but as I said, like if you push a group with knives, they'll grab knives as well. If you start threatening them with guns, they'll grab guns.
What? Like, yeah.
We live in very different countries. Like, I don't have a gun. I don't know if I know anyone who owns a gun. Maybe some people in Sweden have guns for like people like hunting and stuff, but I don't need one. I don't worry about like if someone's gonna come and shoot me. Like I don't need to worry about that.
Baby, will you do Queen, will you do me a favor?
What's that, my love?
Will you look up how many guns per one American there are, or what the statistics of how many guns per Americans there are?
And that's registered guns.
Because I literally, I'm the only person that I know that does not carry a gun.
I don't, but I could.
Everybody around
Okay,
here.
it says with an estimated 120.5 guns for every 100 residents.
So yeah, 1.2 guns per person.
Yeah, so at least
that's lower than I expected.
Barely, but once again, so that means
it says in 2017 there were an estimated 393 million guns were owned by United States citizens.
And that's not even counting the illegals that are here. And I knew a lot of people that had way more illegals because of the gangs and the people that mafias and crap that I was around.
Right.
So, and the only reason why,
the reason you don't carry a gun is because you're naked all the time. You would have to stick it up your asshole, and then you can't have your butt plug up your asshole.
Yeah, and the only ones I could fit up there is called a lady killer, and but anyways, the main reason, the main reason why I don't is because I've been on probation mainly since I was 16 years old for drug offenses, and never had to carry one. How many knives do I carry? That's a different question. Because I am armed at all time.
Over here, we have a big knife problem.
Yeah, no, I know. But there's a lot of stabbings out. No, I know. I looked at the statistics recently, because I was watching something, and knifings are the major thing that happens over there, which makes sense.
And mainly in the cities.
Well, no, it happens for the sheep. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's easy to carry a little shiv. I mean,
no. These aren't little shivs. No.
Baby.
So these are big kitchen knives, like the proper massive ones that are sharp and like every knife for doing most things in the kitchen. They're not tiny ones. These are big knives. And then we have a massive problem with what's called zombie knives over here, which are knives that are like in a cross shape, or they're serrated, or all these other things when you stab someone and you pull them out, you cannot save that person. They will die.
Yeah.
And this is a big problem in London. Like, this is a huge problem in London. And the biggest group it affects is minors. It affects teenagers.
So I've
looked up some of those.
Can you imagine?
Okay, hold on.
So how can you imagine how bad it would be if there were guns here?
Yeah.
Like,
so
I looked up like an estimate of how many illegal guns there are in the United States, and it says that there are roughly 250,000 firearms stolen every year.
Yeah. And there are some being transported or brought into here.
Right. And that's just what's stolen from people. So
okay. So I was gonna say
that's not even illegally imported.
Yeah, exactly. Similarly, I was gonna say something via on that, but yeah. Oh, so what you can do is you can just go to a thrift store and you can just grab a couple kitchen knives and then run down the street. But anyways, let's keep let's.
Yeah, but here you can go to this
Before-
thrift store down the street and get an AK.
Before,
yeah.
right, you had to be 16 to buy these knives, even like big sharp scissors, 16. Now I think they've
Yeah.
jacked up the age to 18 to combat it.
Good,
and like
good.
if it's in school hours, they won't do it. All these other things.
Yeah,
like,
we did that over here as well.
they've
Yeah.
tried to put so many safety things on to stop children
Okay.
buying these fucking knives.
What is really messed up, my love, is that
Yes.
all these people are getting these guns illegally and everything like that, but yet you can go to jail here for a spring assisted knife, pocket knife.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, what's wrong with these laws?
A lot.
If you're the wrong color, you can go to jail for 20 years for having a joint. So I mean, that's still a thing in this country.
Well,
which
not
is
here in New York, but
no, but in like Mississippi or other places,
Yeah, the
literally,
states
like
where it's illegal.
which cross our penises, vaginas, testicles, everything else, and other things, other body parts. That becomes legal across the country, and the same with magic mushrooms. We're hoping that becomes legal across the country to use as therapeutical
I can tell you
medicine.
right now, baby, weed will never become legal in the Bible Belt. Never.
No, it will, but it's going to take 20 to maybe 30 years. I'm going to say 50 at the longest, but it eventually will, because there are a handful of preachers that are actually promoting it as God's medicine and
Well,
stuff.
yeah, 'cause it
so
is.
it's not, no, of course it is, but we have more preachers that are looking into the Bible and what it says in your mom's testicles version 6.9. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know what the fuck it is, but it says that the Ghee, he made every plant on this earth for us to use or to till to make into something, to make something from it.
Baby,
and I
there's
know
a
that's
saying
like,
that I've been saying for many, many years. It's weed is a seed that grows in the ground. If God didn't like it, it wouldn't be around.
yeah, no. So like there is a verse that talks about how the plants that grow from the ground, he gave us to use to our advantage, which is even funnier because there are the I forgot what they're called off the top of my head, but they don't believe in medicine, right? So their kid gets an infection and they're like, well, if God,
Homeopathic people.
sure. It's called something else. I don't remember
Yeah,
what
I
it's called.
can't remember what it's called, but they'll only
Yeah.
use homeopathic remedies and stuff and
Yeah, and so if somebody wants to call
Even that.
refuse to
Yeah.
get their kids
because if-
vaccinated and shit.
So
if they were supposed to die, then they'll die. If they were supposed to live, then they'll live.
That's what they're saying. The Ghee is in charge. The Ghee is in charge of all the things for that. So if the God wants them to die, he's gonna make them die because he would give them the cure. The main thing I want to say, and I was going on a rant today by myself in my warehouse, was if the God cares about children so much, why did he make pregnancy and having a kid so difficult? And why does most of the time it not work? Like literally the statistics of it being done before modern times was 80% of the time it didn't work. Literally.
Well,
there was a
even
complication.
now, most people will have a pregnancy and not realize they were pregnant. They will just think it's a period, like, oh, their period's slightly late, when
Yeah, well,
actually
yeah.
that is a early miscarriage. Like,
Yeah, and so there's a handful of things and stuff, and you have to do a lot of things, and there's a reason why there's an OBGYN, there's a reason why you have a gynecologist, there's a reason why there's a specific field just for the vaginas, right? Because it is such a specified field, and there's so many things that you have to do to make sure that thing goes right and like doesn't go acidic or unacidic, or there's like a lot of things that happen inside of that wonderful thing that makes babies, right? So I don't know how we got to this part, but let's get further into this Antifa thing, and then we will get into the Proud Boys clashing with
I don't
Antifa and
mind
Texas.
I'd rather be in a vagina than in a Nazi.
See vagina.
Yep.
But how would you feel about being in a Nazi vagina? Anyways, no, let's just keep going.
No, I would not like that.
You just try and fuck the Nazi out of them. That's all.
Well, see, that I would do that for enough money, but I would hope I could switch her or flip her. But anyways, that's different.
I did not see that in the question coming.
Never mind.
Over fascists. The fascists are coming for you.
The fascists
I grew
are
up
coming for
in a
you.
military family.
That's crazy
on
that
my
people have
father's
to say
side.
that.
His uncle, my great uncle.
And unfortunately, we have many examples of that happening. So
Yeah.
these people are
The
not
fact
like
that it has to be said is
crazy, and especially because like the other side's not coming for the other side. Like literally, there would not be people coming for the right unless they did this, and now there are people coming for them. So they actually made it so they're being persecuted, or people are coming around or for them, and now we have these weird clashes of like armed people standing against each other, and it's really insane to be in the like 2000s and the 20s of the 20s, right? And this is happening. This is like
right.
This is like Israel in the 1920s. This is like Iran 10 years ago. This is when ISIS came into power. This is so many examples of this happening around the world that the Americas is not supposed to go through this. What the fuck is going on? This doesn't even make any sense. Like, we shouldn't be going through this.
I kind of gotta say, I think it does, knowing your country's history, I kind of think it does make sense. Like, you have such a racism is such a big part of your country's history. It does make sense to me that you, at the very least, have a problem with it. Maybe not to this level, but like you had slavery, then you had Jim Crow laws, you had like the civil rights and the things they were fighting against, and like segregation. Yeah, like it makes sense that it's still hidden there for me.
Okay, I can see where partially it may be there, but my major misconception growing up in San Diego in the 1990s was this is a melting pot. Everybody comes here to get religious freedom, and we all get to hang out together and have a barbecue. Yeah, exactly. That's what the misconception.
And that's where people see us as wrong and outcasted and just horrible people, because see people as people and not for their skin color or what, you know.
Which
it kind of,
you know, not the,
it is kind of telling that it is the US that needs to tell themselves that. Like Sweden doesn't go around saying that we're so diverse and we're so open-minded. Like we don't need to do that to them. Like we're the land of the free. Like it.
We didn't need to do all those extra things. Didn't need to put on those extra frills to try and tell us how great we were.
Yeah.
We just were. We did. We are.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, I'm going to mute while all these new notifications go a bit mental. Hang on.
Well, the crazy thing is it was the backlash of that. Is I was told that the reason why it was so fun to be American and we weren't better per se than anybody else, but the reason why we were the open was because of everybody accepting everybody. And growing up in California, I saw everybody hanging out with everybody. And then I moved to Colorado and I was like, oh, that's weird to see the segregation or see different people talking differently about like, and then when I toured the country, I was like, oh, it is fucking weird to see people saying somebody's better than other people. And it was just an weird ebb and flow. And then now it's very, very divisive. It's not as gray as it used to be. So we're going to go a little bit further into this, and then we'll go into what happened in Texas.
My grandfather was a bomber pilot during World War II, and then my father was a career Army officer. Also, my parents are fundamentalist Baptists. So I always say that I grew up with the sword of the Lord in one hand and the sword of the state in the other.
Dwayne Dixon's an anthropology professor who joined Redneck Revolt
He
in
looks like a
2016.
professor.
Reclaiming
Yeah.
the word redneck is supposed to be a salute to America's rural working class, a group he sees as downtrodden. Redneck Revolt is about taking back power from government and big business.
It's always profits over people. It's always about the richest people trying to increase their bottom line at the benefit of the rest of us. To sort of paraphrase poorly George Orwell, who says that the best defense against tyranny is a rifle over the fireplace.
See, this is like what the right wing is saying. It's just on the other side. But he's not saying I'm going to take up arms against people. I don't know. That's why this is scary, and this is why I wanted to go over this.
Of every working man, I would say working person. That may seem really simplistic, and I'm not in any way advocating that people need to be always out in the streets, but there is some way that I think it's important for us to think about the capacity for defense, for community defense.
How do you justify the use of violence as a tactic?
When the left uses violence, in the rare cases that it happens, it's resistance. That when those actions are taken, it's because some other kind of threat has already materialized, and therefore that danger coming from far-right action justifies or necessitates some kind of intervention with force.
We're just going to watch like 30 more seconds of it. But that's exactly what I wanted us to end on.
The Proud Boys Tiki Torch March.
Yeah, this is the one where they flew a bunch of the Nazi flags.
But what I wanted to end on is him saying that they're taking up arms to...
Charlottetown, I was at one name, Charlottetown, but am I getting the name right?
Is this Charlotte's
Isn't it called Charlottetown with it?
Oh, Charlotte.
I don't remember the name.
I believe that's which one this is.
Redneck Revolt.
But anyways, what I wanted to end this on was leftists take up arms to stop violence, where the other opposition does it to start violence to stop something else. You know, they're the propagators, where
right.
Hopefully there's nobody who has to like altercate somebody from the other side. So now that we have that, let me get to...
And that's just it. It's the left that doesn't want to have to kill somebody. But if they absolutely... they don't ever want to kill somebody, but if they absolutely have to because it's that person or them and their family, they're going to.
Yeah. Okay, so this one is... Antifa members clash with Proud Boys protesters at Texas Kids Drag Brunch.
Yeah, I think I've seen this.
So armed conservatives, activists, the Proud Boys faced up against gun-toting Antifa County protesters at Children's Drag Brunch in Texas over the weekend. A viral video shows them against them yelling at each other at a distillery. This may have been the one that happened like a couple weeks ago, but the one just happened last weekend. But anyways, it's the same difference. Is now the left is holding up arms and standing in front of places where things are happening, so the right doesn't come in and disrupt them. Because it has happened so many times in the past.
It's been happening far too much.
Yeah, this is the whoever popped in ad.
You got it?
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
All right.
Hey Phil.
Hi, what's up?
Hi,
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. I just have been very busy at school since I started about working. But it's coming on near the end of term, so yeah, that's why you have not seen me around much.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it's because you have been doing interesting stuff in your life rather than not fun stuff. So we're very glad of that. So we're glad to have you back. So this is where we have armed Antifa at this drag brunch to oppose the, I'm just going to say, Nazis that were across the street.
Right.
This isn't exactly the one that I wanted to look at. Let me just stop this right quick and try to find the one that I wanted, if I can. There's so many of them recently.
Right. Yeah, there is. I've seen a lot lately.
In the nether.
I don't think it was that one. But anyways, so what we're getting at is Antifa and other organizations have been taking up arms to stand outside of these shows to protect them, because multiple people have ran in there and disrupted them and caused it to not be cohesive, and disrupted them by playing music outside and stuff like that. So what I want to get to next is I want to get to the incels. So let me get to that. Has everybody seen the crazy incel who called the cops about stalking a woman?
Oh, wait, which one? They're all pretty crazy.
Oh,
Quite possible.
yeah. We'll go. We'll go with that one first, I think. Yeah. This is the one. Let me double check to make sure that there's the video for it. If not, I'll find that in just a second. Yeah. Oh, the video, I believe, should be right here. Yeah, the video is right here. So once again, we have to go over what incels are. I'm going to show this video first, and then we are going to go over what an incel is. And there was a study done to talk about what are the signs of maybe somebody being an incel. So we're going to deep dive into incelerism right quick. And I'm going to ask my beautiful, lovely queen to read some of this before we get into the video of this gentleman. And I believe her and I have already kind of gone over him. So I'm just going to read. Yeah. I'm just going to read this, and then I'll get to the meat and beans and of the substance, and then we'll get further into the insanity of this. So
you
video
can actually find the video of this guy
we have
on quite a few different channels, but
yes.
Yeah, so it says video of man complaining to cops about not being able to stalk a woman goes viral.
So what we're going to do
I was going to read that.
Oh, I watched this. This is fucking terrifying.
So this is what the gentleman looks like. What I'm going to do is get it to where
different words.
Play the video, baby.
That ain't no gentleman.
I'm sorry. I always says
that's
this.
A neck page.
This douche nozzle. This loser. He's definitely a loser. So I'm gonna have you read that.
A man on social media dubbed a delusional incel stalked and harassed a former coworker believed to be LGBTQ plus in a bid to get her to be straight. The stalker later identified as Jacob or Jake Yerkes
Of course, it's
Then
Jacob.
recorded himself trying to file a complaint with police because the woman told her father, who told Yerkes to stop harassing his daughter.
He looks like a
Quit being a
Jacob. Quit being a Jacob.
Quit being a jack off.
Jack off Jacob.
Like,
freaking weirdo.
Fuck. This is fucking insane.
Sorry, I ran over my headphones. Hold on. Okay.
Authentic Irish tweed. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
Am
talk
I not
about
back?
that.
Okay, the police department in Yerkes video is reportedly the Lenoir City Police Department, LCPD, in Lenoir City, Tennessee. According to a joint investigation by LCPD and Tennessee's Loudoun County Sheriff's Office, the unidentified victim fended off unwanted sexual advances by Yerkes since mid-June, which then turned into stalking and harassment. And I want that freaking hoodie. Oh my God.
Hey, make that go away. No. Okay, so here is.
Oh, do you want me to read it or?
No. Hold on. So, if this does not show the whole thing, I have the whole thing saved. But so this is the interaction with this gentleman, and he is an incel, and we will talk about exactly what an incel is as soon as we watch this.
The Cracker Barrel, and I was going.
Okay, make sure this is full volume, and
Yeah,
then
you might wanna turn it up on
I'm gonna boost it.
Yeah, because his video is actually really quiet.
So I'm gonna boost it like this. If it is too loud, everybody let me know. If it's too quiet, let me know.
Going to play a song for a woman that I kind of like, and I got there.
Hold on.
Yeah.
There we go.
And she saw me, and she immediately pulled away. And I wasn't forcing her to listen or anything. You know, I just wanted to play the song for her. You know,
Yeah,
give
like
her
this
her
poor
own
woman
choice.
drove away as fast as she could.
So, really quick, I'm going to give a little bit of background. This gentleman worked with this lady at this Chili's or
Chili's,
or it was at a chain restaurant. I believe it was a Chili's. It doesn't matter.
I think so.
He was fired. He was fired for inappropriate stuff, I believe, is why he was fired. 2 months
More
before.
than just her, apparently.
Yeah, it was like 3 other females that were like, dude needs to be fired. So he had not worked there for 2 months. Once again, look it up. If I'm wrong, please tell me. This is just what I remember from my drunk brain at this point. And
baby batter ribs.
Yeah.
I'm nowhere near drunk. Nobody sent me any money.
I know. Come on, people. Send her money. It all goes to her anyways. So he 2 months later, and from what we've heard and what I've come to understand, he for a week has been sitting in the parking lot waiting for her to leave by herself, and this was the first time she's left by herself, and this is when he did what he did, and he will explain it all right now.
Wanted to be with me, you know?
Does she know you?
Yeah, I worked with her there for like 5-6 months.
Did y'all have a relationship?
5-6 months.
No, we were talking a little bit, but it never really got.
He never talked to her outside the job.
But anyways, I pulled up there, and I was in the other parking lot, and I saw her get in her car. And I was like, oh, shoot, it's my moment. So I pulled up there next to her, and she...
Okay, so he was stalking her in an adjacent parking lot in another establishment and saw her leaving and said, oh, shoot, and then drove up next to her, and she bolted and then...
pulled away from me. And
just imagine that. You know he's been out there all week.
Yeah.
That's probably why she hadn't gone to the car alone, because her co-workers had walked her there. All of a sudden, you go to get in your car and you see the guy that was harassing you at work has been stalking you, suddenly pull towards you in his car at speed. This girl is only 19.
Yeah.
She is a
Wow.
fucking child still. Can you imagine how scared she must have been? Of course she belted it away, you idiot. Even if
And-
you weren't a creep.
Of course,
If
she
a
And-
drove
woman
off
sees
as
a
fast
car
as she could,
speed
straight to the
towards her in
person.
a car park. Oh my god.
Yeah.
The amount of problems with the stories we hear about women and how they've nearly got sex trafficked in car parks. And you're going to speed towards her like that.
So, you know, of course she's going to immediately speed off to the
Yeah.
person that she feels most safe with and knows can protect her, and that's her dad.
Yeah, and she goes to her dad. The other thing we're gonna find out later is she's lesbian.
Yeah.
So
Well, we found out about it now.
Not only did she
he knows it. He knows
avoid
it.
him because of the fact that he's creepy as shit, but
she's
not
already
interested
dating
in
women.
men at all, and he
No,
knows
yeah,
that.
she's already she's already dating women, and we will find out the creepiness that happens just in a second. So just listen, because that does come up in this.
Yeah, he tells on
So I
himself.
taste her a little bit just because.
Where you go?
Yeah, he goes. How does she? Never mind. We'll get there.
I don't know. Women are crazy. Like I felt like she like wanted me to chase her.
Well, it's right. She wanted me to chase her.
I felt like she wanted me to chase her.
It's just like I only went like a couple blocks down the street.
Don't you think chasing somebody's crazy when they're obviously going there?
Well, I had my song playing, and I wanted to like her to hear it maybe. But
And his
He
song
wrote
is,
a song for her, which was absolutely horrible, by the way.
and it's insane. Yeah. Baby, can you find that by any chance?
Sure can.
The song?
Yeah, the song that he was trying
Are
to
you
play
gonna
to her.
try to-
Please come back to the light and fuck a man. Oh,
It's kind of like that, except for it's like this.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Just
Like a
wait
death
until
metal?
we find it. Just it's wannabe. It's bitch metal is what I'm gonna
He
call it.
wrote her a song confessing his love, thinking it would turn her straight.
Yeah, exactly. It says
Those
it
I-
pretty
I
much.
think maybe. I think it might be that she turned even more lesbian.
You're right.
Yeah.
Of course she did. No, she swung way further to that side.
I'm double.
But it literally is saying like I'm gonna turn you not lesbian because you're gonna see that you want me and blah. It's literally that bad. Like it's fucking horrible.
It is so toxic to think someone is just gay because they've not found the right pair of genitals.
Yeah, no, totally. Because that's
you're
how that
only
makes
a
sense.
lesbian because you've not had the right guy dick you down. Oh, you're only gay because you've like not had found the right woman.
Yeah, no,
Your
it's
dick is not
ridiculous.
that awesome. Your dick is not that awesome.
No,
Yeah,
exactly.
no one's dick is
Nobody's
that fucking
is.
special or magical. I mean, even
Or
my
vagina,
fictional
or-
dick, like it is awesome. My fictional dick is a thing of beauty, but even that cannot turn the queerest of queer person straight because that's not who they're meant to be. And my dick don't
Well,
do
see,
that
yeah.
shit. No.
The thing that-
I
the
think
thing
don't roll
that
that
we-
way.
The thing we always say before we get further into this, because we've so much more to go into this incel bullshit, is if you don't want to suck a dick, you won't suck a dick. If you don't want it in the butt, you're not going to get in the, if you don't want certain things, you're not going to do them. If you are attracted to that and you want that, you will do that. So that's how that works. It's not, nobody convinces you or tricks you into it. Although I have been tricked into getting in the butt a couple times and I was not a fan, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, let's keep going. What? Okay, let's keep going.
Important.
I mean, you can experiment, right? But at the end of the day, you're like, oh, once you've done things, you're like, oh, I want this or I don't want that.
You experiment because you choose to experiment because
and that doesn't mean
may like it.
that doesn't mean you're stuck with it. Because again,
No,
like I
you
said, at the
don't
end of the
suddenly-
day,
You don't you choose to experiment. It's not suddenly someone's forcing you, like, oh no, you have to try both and then pick.
and then not just that, but what they always claim is once you get one, you're going to be stuck on it. No, it's what you decide. What is you? Maybe you like both. Maybe you like 3. Maybe you like 5. Like whatever. It's what you decide personally.
I definitely don't want to get stuck on someone's penis.
Yeah, no, totally, exactly. Like the ring toss. Like never mind. So let's keep blowing on with this
That wasn't
idiocracy.
lube. That was super glue.
Yeah. Dun, 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 super. Never mind. Anyways.
Anyways.
So let's get on to this, and then we'll get into what an incel is if people do not know.
Her father called me up and he made some threats to me and to my life, and so I just want to have his name on file.
What did he say to you?
I think he said he's gonna stab me, but
Jesus.
he's cussing at me.
But listen to what he actually says. The father says.
He says I'm gonna do something to you. I swear I do something to you.
Which is not an inclination of anything but what for that to be done. He just says, I'm going to do something to you.
That's pretty vague.
Let's face it, it's most likely you stay away from my daughter.
Or
if you go near my daughter again, I'm a fucking break your legs. I'm a fucking do this. I'm a do that. You stay away from my daughter or I will do blank. And yes, that's a threat, but that's protecting his daughter, which
happens every day, every night. I mean, so many times that's what's happened. When you're a male who has a younger one and somebody starts stalking them, you fucking threaten their life. Like, duh, that just happens.
Okay, baby, I can't find just the song, but I do have the entire psychotic rant after he walks out of the police department, and I think the song might be in that.
Fair.
Does he do it after? Because he posted. Okay. Let's just watch a little bit more of this because, literally, it's just him confessing that he is a stalker.
For chasing his daughter?
Yeah, but it wasn't chasing. It was going down a couple streets. That's fun to women. Women like that. A little bit of excitement.
No, they don't.
No.
What about porn?
I'd probably tell you the same thing.
What about BDSM porn where women like to have rape fantasies?
not the same thing. Not the
Who
same
knows?
thing.
Most women do like having
Who
rape
knows?
fantasies.
So he just said.
Did that motherfucker just say, who knows?
He just said most women like having our fantasies. Yeah, bro. Sure, but
In your
the thing
mind.
is, well, and the other thing is, it's not with people like you punk ass little bitch. It's with Prince Charming or princes or kings.
BDSM is not rape fantasies.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Right? We all know this. Also,
Yeah.
a woman wanting a guy to push them against the wall, kiss them a bit more forcefully, the hand under the throat with the thumb towards the jawbone, that kind of thing.
Yes.
That's not a rape fantasy. That is not rape.
Well, and not
because
just
it's just a lover being more
aggressive,
passionate,
yeah.
a bit more rough. It's not the same
Depending on-
thing as someone having a full-blown rape fantasy, which is very different.
And not just that, but to get into a relationship like that, you have to have an understanding. You have to have a bond. You have to feel like you're
If
safe
we
with
needed
them. And
any
then
more proof why fucking 50 Shades of Grey is the biggest fucking menace to society, it is this.
Yeah.
I'm
I hate that.
fucking Grey. I'm that dickhead Grey. Oh look, the girls like you following them because Grey did that. Oh, they like rape fantasies because of
that is
fucking Grey.
abuse in a relationship.
Yeah.
That is abuse in that those movies and
Yeah,
books.
it is 50 Shades of Abuse.
Yeah, totally.
And
It's
I'm
very,
sorry, the fact
very
that
not
he-
with the community.
the pale attempt at a redemption arc for him, that it's not his fault that he's that way. He was abused by a woman who taught him BDSM, and now he does it to other. No, I'm sorry. He is rich enough to have all the
No
therapy
excuse.
in the world.
For real,
He
right?
knows better.
No, he was taking advantage of those people for sure. So,
Yeah.
anyways, let's get a little bit further into this, and then I have
Sorry.
what an incel looks like talking to a woman for the first time, and then we'll get into what an incel is.
Poor boy.
I don't know, but
Apparently she don't.
well,
So what do you want us to do?
well, I just want you to get his name on file, just in case he does do anything
Do
to
you
me.
know his name?
But he doesn't
I
have
know
his
his
name.
daughter's name.
What do you know his name?
I know her name. I don't know his name. He called me from a restricted phone number.
Okay.
So how
Here's
can
my
you make a
suggestion.
complaint if you don't have that information?
Well, this is one song I made, and this was the final chance I was going to have.
Here's my chance. Here's my advice. It's over. Leave her alone.
Okay.
Fathers will hurt you over their daughters.
Yeah, but that's the thing is she needs to have her own free will, man. You not understand. I'm a man myself, bro, and I have needs myself.
She's choosing her free will by telling her daddy what happened to you, and I'm telling you, stay away from her because he will hurt you probably.
She's being controlled by him.
That's fine. That's fine.
And then now he says,
I think she should go do porn.
Okay, you need
What?
to leave.
It's legal.
You need to leave.
Well,
We're not
You need to
leaving.
leave.
I'm having a discussion on.
I'm having a discussion telling you to leave.
Are you threatening me with
I'm not
arrest?
threatening you. I'm telling you to leave.
This
We're
is a
done.
public property.
We're done. Well, you can stay if you want.
If you do that on public property, I'll leave under.
I'm just gonna play.
do whatever you want to right here, but we're not
Watch
gonna
it.
do that.
Just
I think
watch.
they can still trespass him, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm looking for it, baby. Give me a couple more minutes. Like, go over what an incel is, and then
I
I'll
was gonna
find
let her make her
the
own choice
song.
after the song.
Did you notice the little
And I just don't think she had
breadcrumb
a
of First Amendment auditor soft sit bullshit?
Yeah.
This is
yeah.
public property. Are you trespassing me? I'll leave under threat or duress or all that shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's the little crumbs of that saying the daughter's under his thumb. Why?
Well, he actually
Because
is
she's
known
a
as a
lesbian
predator,
and he's
so-
left
Yeah,
wing.
he is. So, anyways, let's keep going because I want to hear just when he says one more very, very despicable thing. So hold on.
Reasonable opportunity to make a choice because I'm gonna blow up and I'm gonna be a famous DJ and I'm gonna be
How
like
old is she?
No, you're not.
2 years older than me. 27.
How much?
27?
She's old enough to make her own mind. I'll speak with her. Is she working today?
I think so.
Do you have her phone number?
I believe so. But I can't stop recording the video.
Well, that's okay. I'll go by her job.
I
She works
cannot
there today,
stop the
right?
video.
I'll speak with her and then I'll get back.
Fucking loser.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you guys.
Okay, hold
You
on.
shouldn't want this video to be.
So this is what this douche nozzle looks like, and listen to what he says. We'll just play a tiny bit of this.
You know what happens when women don't ever, come to terms with themselves? Bad shit happens.
Is that a threat?
I don't know.
What?
Yeah, of course it was.
Something the cops want to deny me trying to get her to be straight.
So I'm gonna stop it here. She's lesbian. He just said the cops want me to stop her from being straight. She is in a lesbian relationship already. She has already been in one for a while. She has been one for most of her life, from what we've come to understand. If you do the research, this motherfucker is
At
trying to
19,
change some.
probably not. 19, probably not most of her life. That would be about 9.5.
Sure, but once again,
No,
she has been in one for
even if she's bisexual,
yeah.
she doesn't want to be with him.
It
Even if
gets
it's
so
bisexual.
weird.
Even if she's
She
straight.
said, he says in this video, right, that the dad has her under his control because he's left wing, right? And then says, apparently he's 27. Sort of alludes that she's also 27, a little bit younger, but then also says that he is in fact older than her dad.
What?
It is kind of
Yeah, and
It
that's
is
where I'm
kind
like,
of-
this is weird. This is
she
not
does
normal.
she does work at a chain restaurant, and so I believe you have to be over 16 or at least 18 to work at things like that. So I believe that she probably is around that age, but maybe she's just 18 and he's 27.
Whoa.
But again, but again, he admitted she's lesbian or is in a lesbian relationship, and well, she just said she was, which anybody can say. But when we come to understand, she's been in a lesbian. Well, of course not.
Yeah.
But well, actually, it does, because he's trying to flip her. Is what he's trying. He's like, oh, if she finds out my masculinity, then I'm gonna be able to get them to do whatever. And
Like, if she hears my song that I wrote her, she's gonna realize that like there is a good man out there that will love her and cherish her and feels this way. Because the only reason women are lesbians is because they're either traumatized by men, or they've just not found the right man because they've sworn off men because all they've ever known is fuck boys.
Yes. So, anyways, did you find that song by any chance? If
I'm
not,
still looking. I'm getting closer, definitely. So talk about what an incel is, and I will find it. Absolutely.
oh, so what we're gonna go over right now is the first time an incel talked to a woman. So we have a video of that.
Whoa.
It is so awkward. It's not even funny, but it is funny. But anyways, let's go with it. So here we blow.
I
think maybe we should. Sorry to interrupt, and feel free to say no. So we're basically making a documentary, and I was wondering if you may be prepared to chat to us for a few seconds.
Yeah.
I was explaining a bit about your life. I'm a NEET. Do you know what a NEET is? It's someone not in education, employment, or training.
Okay.
So they're kind of doing nothing with their life,
So-
basically. I suppose I want to ask,
Unemployed.
what do you think is the necessary traits, the necessary what are the necessary applications of being in a relationship? And does someone like that...
There's someone out there for everyone.
You think that?
Absolutely. 100%.
Okay, so right off the bat, she's already given him a very, very positive outlook on her first answer, even though he's being very awkward. Just recognize that off the bat and then see what happens later.
If that's...
He's getting more nervous for no reason. She gave him a very positive answer. She was being very, very warming. She's leaning into the conversation. The way that she's sitting in her body language is being very, very open. And he's being very closed off.
And that scares the shit out of him.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. And that's why he's having a problem.
Wow.
But what they always do is they flip it around and make it a negative and say that it's the other person's fault, even though the other person is not.
Yeah.
The other person is not doing anything wrong, and they're trying their hardest to compliment the other person or to make it so they feel comfortable as well.
And I would be uncomfortable in that situation as well. Like,
no, I've been there, done that.
I know it's not the female's fault that I'm uncomfortable. It is my look on me that makes me uncomfortable. That makes it uncomfortable for me.
But the thing about incels is they make it a negative on other people because of their insecurities. And it's like, no. I know the reason why I was fumbling with my drink or I was not being able to speak was because I was in front of a beautiful person who had big dick energy. Let's put it that way. Big vagina energy. Sure, right? They had power. When they bring it to the table, you're like, oh shit, fuck, what? That's not a downplay, or that doesn't mean you need to bring your A game as well. And that's the problem with these incels, is they don't understand that there's an ebb and flow of energy that you put onto the table when you meet people, and when they see themselves as being vulnerable, they make it a negative towards the other person, which is not actually a thing. So let's keep watching.
Hold on. Yeah, consult. Don't worry. Consult the notes. Yeah, I mean, I guess.
So now he has to pull out notes that he has supposedly, which is like 10 questions that he wants to like ask a female, because he's never talked to a female. Can you?
Well, if you've never talked to a woman before, I can
But
understand
how?
that he's nervous.
But how? Why, shape, or form? How can that even be a possible thing when I've like had sex with over a... Oh.
But not everybody is that overconfident and.
But that means I've that means, well, but I understand that, and maybe I'm a narcissist. I don't fucking know exactly what my mental disorders are, but I have come in contact with so many people that I've been able to have intimate relationships with them. This guy can't even have one. It's just like so mind-boggling when like I think about that, and I feel so bad for them, and like that's why I like. If I could start an anti-incel institute and teach them to be confident without actually fucking them over and not being like a grifting scam thing, I would love to do that. I would love to teach people how to like get inside of their own brains and their own spirituality and get inside of their own things and get themselves to be like, I am somebody for other things, and I can be my own detachable penis, right? Because that's what we all want to be. Is never mind. Let's just keep going.
I mean, it's it's odd. How much does height impact of a man impact how much like potential they have to get a mate?
There's loads of short girls out there. I really wouldn't worry about it.
Do you think there's a preference, a shared preference that
So there are little people and there are tall people.
Tall people, yeah.
Right? And so you're going to have people of all sizes, and all you got to do is just be proportional to the person that you want to be with. And you know what? I've been in relationships with all different body types of people, and sometimes it fits a little bit better and sometimes it doesn't. But like, are people looking for that exactly? Okay, so let me put it this way. Our premonition of what our model person is like, we have in our head, right? But then when you go out and you meet somebody and they're not that model, you go, crap, I want them anyways, right? So it is not that. It is keeping your mind open to being able to say, I'm going to accept whoever through whatever and whatever body type and whatever genitalia they have or whatever. I mean, there is conceptions of what you're in your mind you want, but literally especially with women. Well, okay. Sorry. I am not going to pretend that I know that, but the research says female genders want relationships over sex, right? And so anybody will find somebody who fits into what they want for the future. Let's just even say males too, like a permanent person for their life. You find that what is comfortable within you, and then you hopefully go with that. The great thing about the nowadays is getting out of relationships is a lot easier than it was in like the 1800s or the 1600s or whatever.
Yeah. Slints, what you said there is correct. And the thing is that, yes, some people let's say height, but there are other major factors that will contribute to them. Even if they say, oh, they prefer tall person, they might go with a short person because there are other qualities that override that. That is not the main criteria.
That's something that
that's
gets you attracted in the first place, but
maybe but
a personality is so much more. Than
yeah,
well, and not
personalities some people personalities.
And not just that, there's
Definitely.
so many other body attributes
Yeah.
and or mental, physical, and other thingamabobbers. What you want to do on your spare time, what you do for a job, what hours you work, when you work. There's so many other things that like build into this that these incels get so pigeonholed into thinking life is only these things, where it's really so many things pulled together, and they want to think that it's always the like pretty boy that's gonna like get stuff. No, if you have an intelligence, or you're able to keep a conversation, or if you only want to play chess, go to the chess club. Find somebody who sits there every freaking day and plays chess, and there's your fucking significant other. You know what I'm saying? Like, you find somebody who does what you want to do in the ways you want to do it, and has the experience that you have as well, and other things. The connections that you have is what makes a relationship actually work, not these falsehoods that the incels want to put onto relationships that don't make any sense. Did I say that right?
I think also a lot of it comes from religion.
Religion is like a major.
A woman needs to listen to a man. If a man wants a woman, the woman has to listen and be with him.
And that was a major reason why I kind of wanted to go over the evangelical kind of stuff as well, is because of that like strict ideology that they say that like is put into place, which like
I think I found it.
Okay, we'll go over that in
and
a
if
second.
this isn't
But,
the song, then he's written a lot of stalker songs.
No, he has. No, it may be one of the. Go ahead, Vila.
Just, this is something that if this video does come across anyone that ascribes themselves as incel, doesn't like that title, MGTOW as well even, right? You need to know this. Those people that are your videos that you are listening to, that are offering these courses on things, that are asking for your money, they don't care about you. They don't believe any of the shit they are telling you. They are using you for money. Okay? They don't actually care about you. They don't care about your mental well-being. None of it. Because if they did, they would be giving you actual decent advice that would uplift you. It would make you feel better. It would not make you angry and hateful. And it would actually help you with your relations and be able to find a woman,
give you real
not just
insight.
any woman, a woman that actually cares about you, not one that she has to settle for you or you have to settle for her. Where you two are actually just perfect for each other. They don't care about you. Please take a break from them for just a little bit and see if things get better for you.
Actually go out and be nice to a woman out in public. But anyways, speaking of that devil, go buy my merchandise on the pinned note that I have in the side chat. No, but getting back to being serious. So let's listen to this gentleman try to talk to a woman, which is insane to me because never mind.
Yeah, to you it is.
We'll get
to me. It's much more clear.
We'll get back to talking about it later. But I did convince one of my babysitters to have sex with me when I was young. But anyways, let's get further on to this.
You were young and horny. I think everybody has tried to do that.
Well, I know, but I succeed. Never mind. We'll talk about it later. We're gonna do a whole talk about it later soon.
He's still young and
Very
horny,
soon.
just less young.
Yeah. We'll like I said, we'll talk about it later.
People I know online that they talk about it. They say that
about your horniness.
If you don't have a good body,
don't ruin it.
No one will care if you have a good heart. Do you think that's true?
I don't think it's true at all. I think what you need to do is get some time away from the computer.
I guess you can't use statistics.
And so what we do is, oh, God damn it, I don't have that. Hold on. No, I don't have it right. Yeah. They made me not be able to do that. Hello, everybody who's new in the side chat, Ole Man and people and stuff. And I know it's been a while since y'all. Yep. But anyways.
I think Ollie's the new one. I'm not sure.
Anyways, go out and touch some grass. Go out and feel some grass. That's what we say here when you've had too much online exposure. You know, like I always go out there and I put my face inside of a huge wildflower. But she gives me consent first. Well, she gives me consent first. So. Yeah.
Wow.
But anyways,
I always get consent before I stick my face inside of a lilac bush. I mean, come on now.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, let's keep blowing on for just a second, and we'll get into it. If you don't know what an incel is by now, we'll get into that.
To model everyone, and that I guess there are outliers, and I guess there are a lot of outliers. And if it's
I think maybe the takeaway is that there's hope.
Yeah, I mean, apparently, do you think there's hope? I suppose.
That
is
so scary.
I think this guy is not that much of an incel as in what we see online, because he's actually trying. He's not being hateful towards the woman. Like the incels that we see online that we know and love to hate, they would not have sat down with that woman. They would have
just wait,
down.
Just wait till he pops the question like, there's a, so you're not, so you think there's hope for me? Yes. Will you go on a date with me?
Yeah.
No. You bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there's also quite a lot that would not even get to this point.
Yeah.
They see a woman and they'll start they'll switch to fight mode.
Yeah, because that's mainly what the problem with them is they do that, you know. They're the anti
maybe
of.
This guy at that point feels like she was giving him false hope. Like if this is the first girls he's talking to, from what we can see through the blur, she ain't ugly.
Yeah, and
You know?
not just
So,
not
like,
just
yeah,
that,
that's-
but like that's it's not gonna work for her, you know. So, anyways, Channel 4 interviewers are scared by a documentary called The Secret World of Incel. So we're gonna go ahead and watch the first part of this.
If you understand the truth, you can then start to take actions to use it in your favor. It's not uncommon for people in the looks maxing industry to get a hammer and think, okay, what part of my face would I like to improve? My cheekbones, my jaw, my chin, my orbitals, just up and down, and the same with the brow bone, up and down, almost sculpting their face out of marble. And then, the bones just grow.
I don't know if that's entirely true. You know, I've fractured my knee, for example.
Precisely.
My knee is vulnerable to other breaks. But how do you know your bone's growing and your face just isn't swelling up because of you're hitting yourself with a hole?
I mean, swelling does certainly stay around for a few days, but...
You've done it, though?
I've done it, yeah.
What took you to the point of hitting yourself in the face with a hammer?
It was just results. I wanted to be good looking, quickly, fast. It's like walking down the street and you're just seeing train wreck.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
I know what
No.
it look like. Just
Then you'll be scared.
It does.
The best looking people in society.
When you
they're
have
always
such
treated the
severe
best.
body dysmorphia
Yeah.
that you're willing to
Okay.
do anything to look the way you want to. Like as a kid, I had my condition. I had very large tumors on my torso. They were very heavy, and it was curved. That's part of the reason my spine's curved, because of the weight of them. And at 9 years old, I said to the doctor, if they didn't operate on me and get rid of it, I was going to take a kitchen knife and cut them off myself. And I didn't care if I died, because at least then I'd look normal. Like when you are that severe in hatred for your body, there's that level of dysmorphia.
Yeah, and I understand that. And that's why I scarified. I scarified myself for my body dysmorphia as well. So I do understand it to that aspect of it for sure. So I could see these people doing microsurgeries or what they thought was to.
I haven't gone that to those lengths myself, but like I've heard stories from trans people who have like they've been so desperate and so hated their bodies that they have harmed themselves in those ways. And like I as I said, I haven't done it personally, but I have hated my body. I didn't feel attractive until after I started transitioning, and like I don't know if I looked more attractive to other people, but I looked more attractive to me. And this is of course different from this person. I don't know if he has something that can be helped with therapy or something like that. But like,
Yeah. Okay, so what we're gonna go through.
It sucks to not feel comfortable in your own skin and feel like you want to jump out of it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us kind of definitely understand that, or somewhat understand that.
No, Slim, no. All of us does not understand.
There's a lot of us in this community. There's a lot of us in this community who are not a normal.
Body dysmorphia, but don't talk as if everyone understands. Don't minimize it like that.
But there are a lot of us.
I think what he was trying to say, Micro.
Hold on. There's a lot of us in this community who are not feeling normal in our own skin.
Right. He's talking about not everyone in the world. He's talking about, the majority of us
community
in our group.
And not just that understand isn't the same thing as living through.
Yeah.
A lot of us do not.
The majority of people in the world have empathy and can empathize with something like that.
And not just that, but people in our community don't feel normal in our own skin. That's why we all communicate as a wolf, as a cyborg, as something else, something else, and something else, and something else.
We've talked about this. Slim, we've talked about this. Let me talk. Identifying as a wolf or a cyborg is not the same as being transgender. We've talked about this.
You were the only one that made it a transgender thing. We were talking about all levels of body dysmorphia.
My body dysmorphia is just as important as yours.
Yeah.
As is mine.
Anybody who goes through body dysmorphia is important.
I had to change myself into this so I didn't commit suicide.
Yes,
I had to change my.
I'm sorry.
That's what I was.
I'm sorry.
That's what I've been trying to
keep doing this, man.
That's what I've been trying to tell you, Micro, behind the scenes. All of us are different and we all feel it differently. And you keep saying that I don't feel it and other of us don't feel it. You're the one.
No, I haven't said that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
You are not respecting my body dysmorphia because you don't understand that we're all going through it different ways. Okay, I'm done. Have a good night, everybody.